These trees look impossible. Roots gripping bare stone. Trunks scarred by time, hollowed, twisted, yet alive. At first glance, they don't behave like trees at all. They seem to defy gravity, biology, even common sense. But they are not sculptures. They are not illusions. They are living trees, growing, breathing, aging. And across cultures, across centuries, people have given them a single name: bonsai. Bonsai are often described as miniature trees, but biologically, they are not small species. They are full-sized trees, held small through time, restraint, and environment. Every branch follows the same internal rules as a forest tree. The same flow of water. The same balance between roots and leaves. The same biological limits. Yet some bonsai appear to push far beyond those limits. Growing on stone, surviving extreme pruning. Carrying centuries of stress in a space no larger than a table. In this video, we are not here to teach techniques. We are here to observe a question. How far can a tree be shaped before nature responds? Some of these trees endure for generations. Others vanish quietly, undocumented, unseen. The difference is rarely visible in a photograph. And it is not always about skill, beauty, or rarity. As you watch, ask yourself one question. Are these trees defying nature, or revealing how fragile the balance truly is? That question leads us forward. Bonsai did not begin as decoration. It began as a response to scale. For thousands of years, humans have struggled with the same limitation. Trees grow slowly, they grow large, and they outlive us. Bonsai emerged as a way to compress time and space, to bring landscapes closer, to make centuries observable within a human lifetime. Not by changing what a tree is, but by carefully controlling the conditions it lives in. Although often associated with Japan, tree cultivation in containers predates modern bonsai. Across cultures, similar ideas emerged independently. Trees shaped, restrained, and observed over time. What connected them was not style, but intention. To study nature closely, and to live alongside it, rather than above it. Bonsai became a shared language, translated differently by each culture, yet grounded in the same biological reality. What makes bonsai remarkable is not domination, but restraint. The tree's genetics remain unchanged. Its internal systems still follow the same rules as any forest tree. Water transport, energy balance, seasonal rhythm. Bonsai exists because those systems can adapt. Within limits. Every cut, Every restriction, every decision, pushes the tree toward a negotiation between human intention and biological tolerance. Bonsai exists where patience meets control, and where restraint becomes a form of expression. But control is never absolute. Every living system responds, sometimes subtly, sometimes decisively. As bonsai designs grow more extreme, the balance becomes harder to maintain. And this is where admiration turns into tension, where design begins to meet biology. No matter how dramatic the design, every tree follows the same internal rules. Water must travel upward through living tissue. Energy must be balanced between roots and leaves. Growth responds to light, gravity, and seasonal rhythm. These processes are not negotiable. They evolved over millions of years. Long before bonsai existed, design can guide a tree, but biology always sets the boundary. When bonsai designs become extreme, they do not break biological rules. They compress them. Roots confined to shallow space. Trunks carved to expose deadwood beside living tissue. Branches forced into long-term asymmetry. Each choice creates a compromise. Energy is redirected. Stress accumulates quietly. Sometimes the tree adapts. Sometimes it only appears to. A photograph captures a moment. Biology unfolds over decades. A bonsai can look stable, while slowly exhausting its reserves. Leaf size, color, and density may still appear healthy, but internal balance tells a longer story. This is why some trees vanish quietly, not in failure, but in silence, between exhibitions, between generations. This tension is not a flaw in bonsai. It is its reality. Some designs align with a tree's limits. Others push against them. Sometimes successfully. Sometimes briefly. Understanding this difference requires more than admiration. It requires time, patience, and records that extend beyond a single lifetime. And this is where reality begins to separate what endures from what disappears. When we look at bonsai that have endured for centuries, a pattern begins to emerge. These trees are rarely the most dramatic. Their forms are often restrained, their structures balanced, their stress distributed slowly over time. Longevity in bonsai does not come from spectacle. It comes from alignment between species, structure, environment, and care across generations. For every bonsai that endures, many others disappear, not always through dramatic failure, but through gradual decline, loss of vigor, reduced energy, diminished recovery. These trees rarely leave records. They fade between exhibitions, between owners, between decades. What remains is the image, often long after the tree itself is gone. In bonsai, rarity is often misunderstood. Some trees are rare because of species. Others are rare because of effort, time, and risk. But rarity does not guarantee endurance. In fact, the more extreme the conditions, the narrower the margin for survival. What appears exceptional in the short term can become fragile in the long term. This is not a judgment of design. It is an observation of time. Bonsai reveals its truth slowly, often beyond a single human lifespan. What endures is rarely accidental, and what disappears is not always a mistake. To understand bonsai, we must look beyond beauty, rarity, and novelty, and toward patience, restraint, and continuity. Bonsai is often seen as an art of control, but over time, it reveals something else. It shows how living systems respond, not instantly, but patiently. Every decision leaves a trace. Some strengthen the tree, others accumulate quietly. In bonsai, nothing disappears. It only waits. So when we look at bonsai that seem impossible, the question is not whether they can exist. They already do. The question is how long they can endure, and at what cost. Because beauty, rarity, and innovation mean very little without time. Some bonsai become priceless. Others quietly fade from view. In the next episode, we look at why value emerges, what collectors see, and what time ultimately decides. This is not about owning trees. It's about understanding them.